So, picture this. One moment, you're all cozy in the womb, and the next, you're plummeting 6 feet toward the ground. 6 feet. No warning, no parachute, just bam. That jarring crash, it's not just your introduction to life, it's your first lesson in survival. Before you even figure out which way is up, your mom's looming over you like a drill sergeant. She's not here for cuddles. She starts nudging you, shoving you, maybe even throwing in a headbutt for good measure. Get up, she's basically saying. We don't have all day. And while you're trying to get your wobbly spaghetti legs to cooperate, every lion, hyena, and leopard in a 10-mile radius is already planning their next meal. You. No pressure or anything. Eventually, after what feels like hours of flailing and falling, you manage to stand. Well, sort of. It's less majestic savannah beast and more like drunk on stilts, but it's enough to keep Mom from completely losing her patience. Then she's off, expecting you to follow like you've been walking your whole life. Meanwhile, you're wobbling behind her like a wind-up toy that's about to fall over. Congratulations, you've survived your first hour of life. Now you just need to survive the next few decades. But don't get too comfortable. As a calf, you're basically a mobile snack pack for every predator in the neighborhood. Lions, wild dogs, leopards, they all see you as an easy target. Mom does her best to protect you, but even she has her limits. If she needs to move to find food, you better keep up or you're on your own. And let's just say giraffes aren't known for their babysitting skills. There's no lost and found for wandering calves. If you get left behind, that's it. Game over. Once you make it past those shaky calf years, you might think the hard part's over. Ha! Welcome to the joys of being an adult giraffe. First off, there's the neck. Everyone's obsessed with it. Wow, you can eat from treetops. But they're not the ones lugging this thing around. Your heart has to pump blood all the way up to your brain, and it's working so hard you'd think it was training for a marathon. And don't get me started on drinking water. You have to do the splits, stretch your neck all the way down, and hope no crocodile decides to turn you into an all-you-can-eat buffet while you're distracted. And then there's your social life, or lack thereof. Giraffe herds are more like awkward gatherings where no one really talks to each other. You don't even get a cool ear, just a bunch of tall introverts standing near each other for safety. The males, however, are too busy smacking their necks together in battles that look cool from a distance but are basically headbutting competitions with a lot more whiplash. The winner gets bragging rights and maybe even a date, while the loser walks away with a sore neck and bruised ego. The best part, even if you win, your grand prize is more responsibility and another fight down the line. Food's not much better. Sure, you can reach the good stuff from at the top of the trees, but acacia leaves come with their own problems, mainly thorns. Lots and lots of thorns. Your tongue's enough to handle them, but every bite feels like you're playing a very spiky version of roulette. And don't forget, you gotta eat about 75 pounds of food a day. That's like eating 150 heads of lettuce every single day. And during a drought, good luck. You'll be wandering miles just to find a single decent snack, burning more energy than you can afford. And let's not forget about humans, who aren't exactly making life easier. They're chopping down your habitat, putting up roads in places you used to roam, and sometimes just deciding that your tail would look great as a trophy. You'd think being an animal with no natural enemies besides lions would be an advantage, but humans? They changed the rules of the game. But let's talk about the end of the road. You spent decades dodging predators, finding food, and dealing with your ridiculous body. So surely there's a well-earned retirement waiting for you, right? Nope. Old age as a giraffe is basically your body saying, I'm done, while nature watches and laughs. Your joints creak louder than a rusty gate, your neck doesn't bend the way it used to, and every step feels like an uphill battle, even when you're on flat ground. Drinking water? Forget it. That's a complicated bending maneuver that was already a death trap when you were young. Now it's a genuine hazard. If you fall while drinking, you're probably not getting back up. And once you're down, you're flashing a neon sign for every predator in the area. Lions who once hesitated to attack you now see you as an easy meal. You can still kick, but your aim's about as reliable as a broken slingshot. It's only a matter of time before something faster, stronger, or just luckier takes you down. If you somehow manage to avoid the lions, the hyenas, and the occasional unlucky fall, your own body will eventually give out. You stop being able to keep up with a herd, not that they'll wait for you, and sooner or later you collapse from exhaustion, injury, or just sheer bad luck. And when that happens, the scavengers don't waste time. Hyenas, vultures, jackals, they all show up like it's an all-inclusive buffet. And guess what? You're the main course. Being a giraffe might look majestic from afar, but up close it's a chaotic, awkward, and often brutal existence. From your first unsteady steps to your final fall, life as a giraffe is one hard battle against predators, hunger, and your own ridiculous anatomy. Surviving isn't just hard, it's an Olympic level achievement. So next time you see a giraffe, remember, they're not just tall, they're tough as nails. There's no gentle ending, no peaceful savannah retirement. You don't get to watch a sunset and reflect on a life well lived. You just become part of the food chain, feeding the very ecosystem you spent your whole life trying to escape. Even in death, you can't catch a break.